Shalom Mishpacha. In this reel, we are looking past the physical, political decoys to decode the true abomination of desolation. We are providing the scriptural, historical and technical evidence to prove that the war is not geopolitical, but it is a battle over frequency, consciousness and the quantum integrity of the true human temple. Family, most of the world is waiting for a physical brick and mortar third temple to be built in Jerusalem before they believe the final countdown begins. But we are told that the adversary is a master of deception. What if the war is not geopolitical but quantum? What if the temple has already been breached, not by soldiers but by frequency shift? Today, we are decoding the ultimate intersection between ancient prophecy from the canonical 66 books to the Apocrypha and Gnostic fragments, and the modern hidden technologies of timeline manipulation known as Operation Looking Glass. It's time to look past the physical decoy and step into the true frequency battle.
Operation Looking Glass, the secret project that peered into the future. What if the future isn't something we wait for? What if it's something we can watch like a film, playing before it ever happens? That's exactly what some say the US government achieved decades ago. A black budget program so deeply hidden, it was never meant to be spoken of outside the highest echelons of power. A machine built not to travel through time, but to observe it. It was called Operation Looking Glass. And if the stories are true, this device changed everything about how world leaders made decisions, handled crises, and manipulated global events. Because once you can see multiple timelines, you no longer have to guess. You simply pick the one that serves you best. Let's take a closer look, if we're allowed. Rumors of Operation Looking Glass trace back to the late 1970s, through whispers inside the intelligence community, and leaks from former insiders who saw too much. The project's name comes from Alice in Wonderland, a reference to Through the Looking Glass, where everything is reversed and time flows strangely. That's not a coincidence, because the tech behind this program allegedly reversed the flow of cause and effect. The core device? A mysterious blend of advanced computing, rotating magnetic fields, exotic particles, and consciousness itself. Yes, consciousness. Because according to some former military operatives, the machine didn't just display probabilities. It responded to whoever was in the room. Think about that. They weren't just watching the future. They were influencing which version of it unfolded.
According to high-level military intelligence whistleblowers, most notably figures who claim to have worked directly with back-engineered temporal viewing systems, Operation Looking Glass was a technology built using counter-rotating plasma fields to peer down potential future timelines. Whistleblowers stated that the global elite used this device for decades to engineer geopolitical events, stock market crashes, and socially engineered distractions, steering humanity down specific controlled trajectories. But then the insiders reported a massive panic within the secret apparatus. As the timeline approached a specific cosmic epoch, the machine showed multiple diverging probabilities, all collapsing into a single unalterable point. No matter what variables or catastrophic scenarios the global controllers input to alter the outcome, the data streams converged. The machine showed that their control grid completely failed, and an inevitable reality took over. This is the modern technical description of what the Sumerian tablets called the Tablets of Destinies. The archonic attempt to simulate fate, only to realize that true sovereign authority over time belongs strictly to the Most High. Why did the Looking Glass data show the total collapse of the enemy system? Because the unalterable convergence point is the physical and spiritual awakening of Yashar'al, the true seed of the promise. The demiurge, also known as Yaldabaoth or Satan, realizes his time is short. This explains the desperate chaotic actions of those working for the enemy today. The elite are fighting an invisible war because they observed through their own looking glass that if the true temple, which 1 Corinthians 3:16 proves is your body and mind, awakens to its true frequency, their matrix completely dissolves. To stop this convergence, they have deployed the physical infrastructure for the Abomination of Desolation. In the Gnostic text, the Apocryphon of John, this is identified as the antimimon pneuma, the counterfeit spirit. It is not a religious concept, it is an artificial heavy matrix signal designed to scramble your spiritual DNA, lower your vibration and force your consciousness to anchor into a timeline of fear, desolating your connection to the Father. How is this signal broadcast into the physical temple? In the upper atmosphere, systems like HAARP manipulate the ionosphere to alter global resonance frequencies. On the ground, this is broadcasted through ultra-dense antenna arrays like 5G and the upcoming 6G infrastructure. You can fact-check the transhumanist intent of this technology right now. Mainstream scientific outlets including Lab Manager, Hackstar.io and peer-reviewed papers from the IEEE Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers widely reported on a groundbreaking 6G study from the University of Massachusetts Amherst. The researchers openly detailed how next-generation 6G visible light communication can harvest waste energy by using the human body as an antenna. This is a literal convergence of human vessel and the digital matrix. The infrastructure is being laid to turn your physical body into a node, a receiver, and an antenna for the enemy's broadcast. It is a desperate attempt to hack the temple from the outside in. This whistleblower data provides the exact explanation for the bizarre hyper-aggressive actions of the global governance system in recent years. They aren't trying to win a physical war, they're trying to break the quantum bottleneck. They are frantically engineering crises, digital control grids, and psychological operations to forcefully drop the collective frequency of the planet. As Ephesians 6:12 warns, our true wrestle is against spiritual wickedness in high places, the literal wave bands and unseen frequencies surrounding us. The enemy knows that if they can keep you vibrating in trauma, anger, and distraction, your spiritual shield drops and you become biologically and spiritually compatible with the lower matrix. They are tracking the global population to locate, suppress, and alter the frequency of the seed before the final timeline shift locks into place. But here's the beautiful reality, Mishpacha. Their technology has already documented its own defeat. You cannot hack a temple that refuses to match your signal. When you maintain absolute alignment with the Ruach HaKodesh, the true frequency of Yahuwah through Yahusha, we step completely out of their simulated timeline. High frequency alignment rooted in truth, perfect peace, love, unshakable covenant, faith acts as a literal multi-dimensional molecular shield. The looking glass systems cannot calculate, manipulate a soul fully sealed by the Most High because you are no longer vibrating within the parameters of their machine. When you stand firm in the true identity of Yashar'al, the counterfeit spirit is evicted from your temple, and the enemy's plans collapse under their own heavy weight. The shift is already determined. Stand calm, guard your frequency, and trust the true allure, Yahuwah. Shalom, Mishpacha.